Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chensor Dynasty. My name is James, and I'm joined. What? Oh, shoot. Did I just say the Chensor Dynasty? Holy crap.
I'm like, wait a minute.
SNKronize. SNKronize. Welcome to SNKronize. Sorry. Habits. Welcome to SNKronize on the Chensor Dynasty.
That's a little better.
Yeah, there you go. My name is James Chen, and I'm joined by...
I am Olaf. We don't have our friends on the screen, by the way.
Oh, you're right.
I need to get them on here. Friends up there.
There we go. There we go. All right. We're getting everything under control over here.
No.
Sorry. No, we're not. But yeah, this is where we talk about all the new developments for KOF 15 and everything else SNK.
All things SNK.
All things SNK. Obviously, KOF 15 is the big topic. Although, probably not going to get anything crazy today, right? No silhouettes or anything like that yesterday. No silhouettes.
I mean, we got the whole ass character last week, so today we're probably going to have to just settle for probably a story, a team story.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
So
okay.
Probably it's 7 p.m. We'll probably get another team story, which I think is going to be either super heroine or secret agent. And we'll see.
Right. Yeah, it's just everything is just lore stream from now.
Cone is not wrong. I mean, I'm already like one of the things I was going to talk about definitely is Dolores focused already.
Oh yeah, okay.
Actually, two things.
One,
not as a direct call out, mind you, but I'm really finding it amusing how many people don't like or can't handle the spelling of her name.
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing Dolores so much.
Because that's how you're supposed. That's how Dolores is normally spelled, I think.
If you say so. Tell people how they're supposed to spell their name.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's how it's commonly spelled, I should say. That's how I spelled it wrong all the time, right? I kept spelling it. I did that in the title last week.
I wasn't gonna call you out. I was pointing fingers.
Because that's how you're supposed. That's how Dolores is spelled. I haven't seen it. Dolores.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, we're Americans. It might not be the case in every other country.
True. And she's supposed to be from
Mali,
right? That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. See, there you go.
It happens. Yeah. But yeah, Dolores.
Yes, makes more sense that way. So yeah, but obviously she was revealed as the character last week. And
we all lost our goddamn minds. And the internet has collectively lost its goddamn mind.
Yeah, I was just about to say I've already been seeing a lot of Dolores art out there. People have definitely taken to the new SNK waifu.
Yeah, some of the most new fan art for a character in KOF 15 of like anyone. Like she actually might have had more fan art out the gate than most other characters combined.
Yeah, I mean, Isla didn't even get this kind of fan art, right? So Dolores is definitely waifu material.
Well, there's that, but it's also part of it's the representation element.
Yeah.
I'm going to paraphrase some tweets I've seen, but they're like, between. Now we've got Dolores. Before that, we had like Nagoriyuki, and before that, we even had Leroy. Like, we're getting a lot of good representation and designs now.
Right, actual like decent. I mean, also too.
Yeah, not Birdie in Street Fighter 5.
God, again. Now, I mentioned that yesterday on the Tuesday show, and Tubo started telling me I was fat shaming people. So,
Jesus,
I was like, man, come on. Birdie wasn't fat at first. See, that's the whole difference. I have no problem with Rufus, okay? I don't care about...
Well, I mean, we have problems with Rufus for different reasons.
Oh, yeah, for different reasons.
He's a total piece of shit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the thing is that he's far more accurate than Guile if you want to have an American stereotype.
Yeah.
So, hey.
I mean, not even speaking on Dolores, too, but one of the things that a lot of people kind of collectively lost their mind on as well was that Isla's from Chile, which the first fighting game character, I think, to distinctly be from Chile.
Distinctly instead of, like, maybe implied or something. That's a possibility.
Right. And not only that, but there's just so many fighting game players in Chile. And this, like, I mean, I know Cane Blue River kind of lost his mind.
Goddamn mind, yeah.
Especially
with, like, the little bits of, like, the favorite food and that kind of thing. And, that's one of the things, like, I'm huge on those, like, stupid little character details. And now we see also is, like, when you get it right, everyone notices. Because, the Chileans are like, Yes, indeed. You know what? Now I want one.
Right, and you know, it's really cool because I've been to Chile before. I've been managed to go to Chile, in Santiago, and I met a lot of the. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so Dolores actually is more common. Okay.
And I'm assuming if we're talking 1920, that means probably Americans are the ones fucking it up. I wonder if it's an Ellis Island fiasco. That they would respell it for like American spelling, and that's when we started botching it.
Maybe.
Dude,
That's going deep, dude. That's going deep into lore here. But a lot of the people that I met from Chile, you know, they're all going crazy over the fact that this character is from Chile.
Yo, that hometown advantage.
Yeah. And now we have a character from Mali who's actually, you know, we talked about it last week, you know, very respectfully designed and everything. And again, waifu material. Yes, she's hot for sure, but done so in a very like tasteful kind of like
she's classy.
Elegant.
Let's go
elegant
and classy. It's like, because I mean, she's still got like not a bunch of clothing,
right?
And she is incredibly sexy,
right?
But it's, you know, I mean, we reference like Bayonetta a bit. It's how much she owns it.
Yes, yeah.
That she's not trying to seduce people. She is proud of herself. And there's like, it's such a huge difference in that dynamic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's man, but yeah, it definitely has affected the interwebs, especially in the SNK fandom area.
Yeah.
So
this leads me to one other thing I wanted to talk about. Is something I'm fascinated by.
Okay.
Is can you actually bring up a picture of Dolores real quick? Full body shot, preferably. Up to and including maybe her ass as she's walking away at the end of the trailer. That's fine too.
Okay, do you want me to just bring up ass walking away?
Yeah, sure. Works perfectly fine. I don't think anyone's going to complain.
I don't know, man. I think some people are going to be not happy with this, man. Come on.
And those people probably don't watch our show.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably true too. Okay, let me do this here. Let's bring us up over there. Then I can drop us off over here.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
So the way her pants are designed, and then she's got like the bikini underlayer kind of thing, kind of like a pseudo assless chaps thing.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming Angel's in the game, I wonder if Angel's going to get a redesign.
Because that looks a lot like Angel, you think so?
Pretty distinctly similar.
Really?
And, you know, if Mary kind of got a bit of a redesign after Leona changed her outfit to something closer, I wonder if Angel might get a slight redesign in her, at least from the waist down.
Oh yeah, I guess you're kind of right, huh?
They're really quite similar.
Yeah, there's shades of each other for sure.
Yeah, the bikini and chaps kind of thing.
Yeah,
there's some distinct similarities. I mean, Dolores is going for a little more bare hips, but yeah, chapsless ass. But I mean, I caught the similarity there, and I was like, I wonder.
Interesting.
Now then, we talked about this a little bit last week, and I've had the week to think about it.
Okay. Do you want to answer that question first, real quick?
Angel is popular enough, yes.
So she's kind of a wife.
She's a pretty popular waifu. She's not as popular as some of the others. Some people take to Angel as being more of kind of a tawdry slut. And so, like, she doesn't have the class that some of the other characters do.
Yeah, okay.
But there's also the fact that Angel's really fucking fun.
Oh, okay.
She's a very unorthodox character. And so people have been clamoring for her from the home release of Neo Wave until she finally came back in 14. And it was a surprise seeing her back in 14.
Oh, so she actually disappeared for a while then, huh? Okay. What was the game she first showed up in?
01.
01.
Yep.
And then gone until...
And then she was in 02, and then she was in Neo Wave, and then she was in, 02 UM, obviously, and then 14. And
oh, dang. So
she has had no less than 3 different voice actresses.
So let me think. So 2003, she was not there.
Correct.
11, she's not
Correct.
there. 12, 13, and then so she was gone for 4 games.
For 4
then.
mainline games.
Right.
Yes.
What was the story reasons for not showing up, or was there one?
She wasn't important.
Oh, okay.
She was like a sub-villain of the Nests arc. If Nests
Right.
is solved, there's no reason.
So in 14, what was their reason for bringing her back? Like,
Because they've kind of fed into little bits of Nests returning, especially with like, you've got Sylvie.
Right, that's right.
And now we know also Nelson is tied into Nests a little bit.
Okay. Was she a pseudo villain?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2001, she's just not a good person. She's not.
Okay.
Yeah, and she was attached to Redacted. That's the other thing. And so with Redacted being removed, it's ended up then retconning part of her backstory, which leaves her in a really confusing state.
Right. It kind of ties in what you were trying to get into a little bit, right?
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of confusion there. There you have it, right there.
She almost murders Foxy. That's why
and then,
Kula hates her.
Yeah. She was a good person to me.
Oh, man. Okay.
So that's a whole factor. And yeah, she was created under Eolith's banner. So like SNK actually had to like do some fighting to even get some of those characters back.
Wait, Angel was an Eolith character? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Because 01. She was anyone who was added to 01 was immediately in fuzzy territory.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Also, just to be clear, I've said this on a previous show, but I'm going to reiterate it. Yes, I know I'm supposed to say Angel, but I'm a white American, so I'm going to screw it up my way. And I'm going to call her Angel.
That's fine. Hey, we live in Los Angeles anyway.
Fucking right.
Every once in a while, I will say Los Angeles just to make it sound a little better.
I mean, you could also be a real man and do the whole paragraph.
I know, right?
La ciudad, something. I can't remember how to say it properly, but it's our city. The city of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels.
Jesus, okay.
Is actually Los Angeles' proper translated
term.
I
still refuse to say San Pedro. I don't care what anybody
fucking
says.
right.
I will not say San Pedro. I will say San Pedro or Pedro at least. If I'm gonna
San Pedro.
Yeah.
And then you get people who live in San Pedro like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
you mean San Pedro.
I can't say San Pedro, dude. It just sounds bad, so. But in any case.
Yeah, Vanessa's awesome, but she doesn't have too much in her backstory in general.
Right. And Vanessa's the one that's on the agents team now, yes. Right? Yeah, okay. And then, so. Angel. Was that what you're going to go with your 1 week thing or you something else?
Oh, no. So the 1 week thing is a different subject.
Okay.
Because that was a chat question.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so. We all know that Hydern being on the rival team kind of threw a monkey wrench in our predictions.
Our predictions got by.
Predictions/hopes.
Right.
So I've really been thinking about it, and I've been looking at even some of the posts that people have made about kind of joke predictions, and one of them is really starting to make way too much sense.
Uh-oh.
So, let's assume a little bit more logically.
Okay.
K-Dash's team actually has Maxima and Kula.
Okay.
Then that puts Angel in the third, what the fuck is this team?
Right. So if Angel actually almost killed Kula's mom, and not accidentally on purpose almost killed...
Who did what now?
Angel,
Foxy, which is more like caretaker babysitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's why Angel wouldn't be on that team because
Kula will boycott.
Right.
Yeah. And that's because even I've been sitting here I don't like this idea. They have to do a lot of explaining.
Right.
Angel is probably one of the only people that Kula actively hates and wants dead.
Okay. So in other words, we probably have a better chance of K-Dash, Kula, and Maxima and Angel being on
a different team.
Right.
Rather than being stuck to that team.
Okay.
With this also in mind, though, is that, okay, we've got our 2 surprises remaining. Which means, again, most likely we're getting Elizabeth.
Right.
So that leaves this third team of Angel blank.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can cram a bunch of characters into that team. You could put Oswald because fuck it. You could put Sylvie there because people apparently like Sylvie. But then you got one more surprise left. And in that,
was Sylvie really popular in 14?
she's got basically there's people who fucking love her and people who forget she exists.
Okay, fair enough.
Nobody, as far as I can tell, nobody kind of likes her.
Right.
They either fucking love her or whatever.
Yeah.
So basically, though, if Angel is on the third team, then there's basically only one surprise that fits. There's a good chance we're getting Nameless.
Speaking of redacted, as we were talking about it, right? Yeah. So, of course, that's K9999, who then became redacted, who then became Nameless.
There's actually a chance of us getting Nameless.
You think so? You think so?
I think his odds are better than Adelheide's at this point, at least in terms of launch roster.
Yeah. Adelheid is kind of one of the sad ones that kind of went away with it. So
yeah, I mean, because literally it's that, or it's still K-Dash, Kula, Angel somehow,
right?
And then the third team is Whip, Adelheid, I don't know, Oswald. I don't fucking know. But there's a lot of people who would love to see Nameless come back, and I think it wouldn't hurt with the resurgence of O2 with the rollback update.
Right, and the other thing too is that with Verse kind of creating this kind of retconning, rebooting without actually rebooting anything.
And so one thing to bear in mind is that in 14 story, they never say Verse is just resurrecting people. He was the collection of lost souls. Who is more of a lost soul than a character in a non-canon game who still had a story?
Right.
Because O2 never happened, but Nameless still has a full fucking plot.
Right. So Nameless technically is not redacted, renamed.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, he is just his functions.
Okay, so all right.
Nameless is a whole ass character with K49's functions.
Right. So K49 came out. He was related to Angel then, right?
Yes, they were both Nest's assassins, for lack of a better term.
Okay. Then obviously he became redacted in the next game because they were sued or whatever, right?
But cease and desist, something to that effect.
I mean, is his name redacted? Was it just listed?
No, that's just what I make fun of him as.
Oh, okay.
He's still K9999.
Oh, he was still listed.
He's K49, but he's not allowed to exist anymore.
Right. So how many games has he been in then?
2.
Okay, so just the 2.
He's in 01 and 02 vanilla.
And that's it. And since 02 was a dream match, he doesn't technically exist in any of the stories.
Yeah, so K49 only exists in 2001 canonically.
Right.
And then now they had to redact him because, at the very least, whoever the legal company that owns Akira is said, y'all fucking serious. We're going to have to talk.
Right. So what I'm basically saying is that Nameless shows up in a dream match game, which doesn't exist.
In an expansion of a dream match.
Right.
He's in O2
Gotcha.
Because they wanted to remake O2, but they already couldn't put K49 in the game. So they had to make a new character so that his functions were represented in O2
Wait, so was he in O2 as K49?
No. Nameless. Nameless is his actual name. Just to be clear here.
Yeah.
Nameless is in O2 to replace...
But not O2.
Correct.
Not O2. Okay, right. That's
K49 is in vanilla O2. Because
that's okay. Yeah. So he was in 01 and then 02. Then when they did they needed to keep the character in there, but they did it by just swapping him to Nameless. Got it. Okay,
by making a whole new character with his functions.
Right. Gotcha. So...
yes, I agree. Nameless is redacted, but good. Because they turned him from, someone who clearly has a lot of problems to hot anime boy.
Nice. So...
Yeah, Zay Prime is another way, because that's his theme name. His music's called Zay Prime, which is kind of also them playing off the fact that he's K --.
Nice. So basically then, Nameless had a plot in 01.
Yeah.
Then
Nest Saga ended.
Nest Saga's ended, and then never again.
Yeah,
basically,
then they just
shut up,
they made O2, which is a dream match.
Okay.
And just like, hey, look at all these characters.
So
Nameless, cool.
Nameless doesn't even have any sort of like story or anything.
But he does have a story.
He does.
He has a story exclusively in O2 to explain who/what he is. That's why we joke about him being fucking Martian. That's why we talk about his dead girlfriend.
They actually
the whole
added stuff like that just for like win quotes and intros and stuff like that.
And all sorts of crap. Like he actually has a story, but his story doesn't matter because it's a non-canon game.
Right, yeah.
So letting Versus Lost Souls thing bring him into 15 also kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that would definitely be expectation shattered, I feel like, if they put him in the game, right? So
but I think it's a very reasonable, like, it's like one of those like reasonable hot takes where it's like, yeah, I wouldn't have seen that coming, and I still don't, but damn.
Right. But that means... So, I mean, if it wasn't Nameless, who would be on the team with Angel? I mean, what does she have any relation to Nelson or any of the other...
I don't think she directly has any relation to Nelson, but it's... In multiple places, it's implied or confirmed that Nelson's robot arm is made by Nests.
Okay.
I think it's even implied that it might have been Dr. Makishima is the one who made it along with making Maxima.
Now, what is Sylvie's tied to Nests?
She's another, like, scrapped project from Nest. She's leftovers.
So, in other words, even in this verse storyline, they brought back...
Nest is more relevant now than they have been since 01.
Right, okay. So they kind of brought it back, in other words. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a possibility, too. It could be a new character, but, I mean, that feels kind of like a stretch. I think we got our 2 new characters, especially with them both being in the cover.
Right.
And there was no other surprises on the cover. I would genuinely be surprised if there's one more new character.
Now 14 had a lot of new characters.
Too many.
Right?
Too many.
Okay. You think that might have contributed to... Like, where's my favorite?
Yeah,
kind of...
I mean, in a lot of ways, like, KOF 14 kind of felt like airplane-style comedy, where you just throw so many things out there, at least one of them has to land.
Right, yeah. Oh, man.
And yeah, like, a lot of it didn't stick. I mean, Xanadu has his fans,
right? So
but he's not relevant to bring back.
It was like Xanadu, that kind of Sylvie. Was Meitenkun new in that game as well?
Shune, Meitenkun, and then the whole invitation team. So Sylvie, Mian, Kukri.
Right.
You got Xanadu. You got Nelson, Zarina, Banderas.
So they're all new to 14?
Alice, Mui, Love Heart. Nako was new to it, but she's not a new character.
Right, yeah.
Antonov Verse. Najid was new when she came out.
That's right.
And I'm still forgetting like 2. Hein was new.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So they went crazy with new characters in that one.
Yeah, and they said, like, again, part of it is at the cost of, they also were like, we want to have less Fatal Fury characters, and they've really been sticking to it. Yeah, Luong and Gangil were new.
Oh, okay.
And I realized something today is that KOF 15, at least so far, has the least Fatal Fury reps since KOF 95.
Jesus, okay.
Fucking game has, like, 5 Fatal Fury reps in the entire cast so far?
That's crazy. Okay, yeah, it's just the Fatal Fury team.
And then Mai and Mary.
Mary, that's it. Dang.
I think that's it.
I mean, what were the other ones before? Like, they always had just like a random Raiden in there.
Like, Raiden is in one of them. You've got Geese, right. Billy.
Does Griffin Mask not count?
I would count him, but not as Dinosaur. If it was Dinosaur. Griffin, maybe.
Okay,
but, I mean, even so, you got Billy, Geese, Duck every so often, Raiden every so often, Krauser.
Yeah,
Shangfei, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yamazaki.
Right. And then, of course, Kim, right?
Kim
and his
Kim
kids.
is a big one.
Kim, Cheng and Choi. Cheng and Choi are technically not, though. They're KOF characters.
Cheng and Choi are KOF.
Yeah.
But Kim, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Kim being gone is, of course, still the big one. So
It's still weird.
yeah.
Oh man, you know it'd still be funny though. It's just in a random what if.
Okay.
That third team is Kim trying to rehabilitate Angel. Hilarity. But yeah, it's not happening.
I mean, maybe that's something they're interested in doing, trying to turn Angel more into a good guy, right? A good.
I'm down for it because the thing is, even in 14, she definitely is a lot improved.
Okay.
She's far less sadistic.
See, Oda even said that in 14 we are making a Fatal
Yeah.
Fury.
Yeah. Are we making Fatal Fury or KOF? Come on.
Yeah, I'm guessing Rock is going to come back
free.
as DLC Spring Mix for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I'm really hoping for the Mark of the Wolves 2 idea that it's Rock Kane somebody would be fucking fire.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't have mind if it was Rock,
Hotaru,
and then the character that we never got.
I mean, that's what I want.
Right.
Is the second
Joe disciple.
Yeah,
right?
what I call the second generation Wolves team.
Yeah.
Where it's the original Three's disciples.
Because you were the one that told me, well, it was a couple of weeks ago that there was actually the Garu design, right? The Garu 2 and never got
Never
made,
saw the light of day.
but she was there as the disciple. So if they actually went and resurrected her from those designs and made the
jokes would be real, by the way. Damn. Verse resurrected dead ideas. Holy crap.
Nice. That's perfect, though. I mean, because the thing about it is that character doesn't even have a name, right? That we know of.
Maybe, maybe not.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Publicly, there's no name for
I
that.
don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yes, Fatal Fury is called Garo Densetsu in Japan. It's the legend of the wolf.
Right. Which is why Mark of the Wolves, I don't know why they didn't call it a different name in America.
They did. On
do you mean?
the Dreamcast version says Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves.
Really?
Swear to God.
I did not know. Okay. I've only known it as Garu.
Yeah, because you probably have only really seen the arcade release.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but the Dreamcast American version says Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, that's what we were talking about, Kenji. That one of them is
It's only from that Mark of the Wolves 2 sprite sheet.
right, which is the Joe's apprentice. And so if they had the Generation 2 Fatal Fury team, I think that'd be really sick.
The coolest fucking thing.
I mean, that would.
I mean, I'm still hoping. We jokes every so often. Like SNK is listening to us. I want them to hear this. And be like, "Fuck,
Yeah,
that's a good ass idea."
I'm down with it. Please, let's do that.
I mean, because I think a good chunk of the staff for Mark of the Wolves and the scrapped Mark of the Wolves 2 is still at SNK,
Right.
or has at least returned to working at SNK.
I mean, the way that this game has been going, it feels like they've been making teams that. Like I said, I'm so happy about the Sacred Treasures team, right? So I feel like, this would be the right time to do that. Finally, to put Rugal, Vice, and Mature on the same team, because they've never been on the same. Not even in a dream match, they've been on the same team, right?
Yeah, no, because anytime they're in a team, they're basically just haunting Iori.
Poor Iori.
I mean, that being said, though, I mean, you don't have the character select screen handy, do you?
I do, actually. It's still there, I'm pretty sure. Let me grab this over here. I'm pretty sure I still have it on my desktop.
Genius, there it is. You're on it.
Oh, you're right. Jesus.
There you go. Perfect.
My God, I must be blind. That's another one of those movie quotes that I always say, but no, I don't think anybody knows where it's from.
I mean, it's such a simple line.
Yeah, that's the problem with it.
That even with the inflection and accent, it's hard to tell. But anyways,
yeah, it's Elsa from Last Crusade.
Oh, Jesus.
When they're pointing out the Roman numerals and X marks the spot. Oh my God, I must be blind. We're spotting the numerals on there. Yeah. Anyways,
point is that so I mean we see now we've got Isla's team on the right side, we've got K-Dash team, we've got Ash's team, and we've got the at the bottom.
Right. This is the mystery.
And then we know we're getting 2 teams of DLC shortly after launch. That's still 7 slots at the top for potential unlockables.
Right. The funny thing about that too is that the 2 sets of DLC, I can't even imagine that Kim would even come into that DLC. Would he be enough of a draw to get people to buy the DLC. Like, I feel like they would have to do something like
maybe not.
Like, I feel like it would have to be like a Rugal Weiss and Mature, because I think that would get people excited.
The thing is, I still think they have a really good shot of just being unlockables. Is kind of what I'm implying.
Rugal Weiss and Mature, you think? Oh, so you think that they might be one of the two teams up here that are unlockables?
or the towards the right
side.
Right,
okay.
Yeah, the right side.
Yeah.
Because you also have that solo entry, which is whatever the final boss is.
Right, because that's what almost happens in every KO.
Unless they're really pulling a fast one. It's just like, oh, that's Genet's, by the
way. Yeah. I mean, oh, man. Like, Rugal Weiss and Mature is like, I want that team so bad. I want that team so badly, dude.
Kim's pants, yes.
Yeah. I just picture Kim's pants showing up in KOF 15, and when you stand there, you just get the Windows errors message. Can't handle.
No, I 100% miss unlocking characters, but and that's the thing. 14 still Antonov and Verse were unlockable.
Right.
They were not there from moment one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, unlocking characters in game, doing stuff in the game is cool. There's a few bad things about it. Street Fighter 4 Vanilla was a pain in the ass for all tournament organizers. I will say this as a person who unlocked every character on Street Fighter 4 for multiple machines before a tournament started. I actually sat there and played against the computer on level 1, and by the time you killed one of them, you had enough time I would hit the Xbox button because it would automatically pause the game as soon as it was pausable. So I'd hit the Xbox button, go to the second machine, beat someone up, it would pause, and I would go back and forth. And I had to do this for like 10 machines. Like, I remember doing this at NCR one year, and it was such a pain. So, unlockable characters, cool. Please give us an option to buy them as well.
I mean, that or just don't make it unreasonable. Like, have them locked for spoiler reasons.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, well, you went through arcade, now you've seen who the boss is, now they're unlocked. Whatever.
Right.
I don't give a shit. But yeah, I mean, even like they're saying in chat, unlocks for 11 were fun as hell.
Yeah.
Because there were also multiple ways to do it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, yeah, you could do the mission mode, which is like combo trials and like parry this, do this damage, whatever. Or, you know, for the mid bosses like Adelheid and Guy, it was just beat them in arcade mode.
Right.
And you don't have to beat arcade mode, just kill them and you're done. So all you have to do is just play through 3 matches and fulfill the conditions to whatever sub boss you want. Done.
Right. Yeah, I do suspect that there are going to be unlockables because they've never explained that on this character selection.
And again, it's also one of those things that if you think for a second that we're not getting Orochi CYS at some point.
Right, yeah. See, that's what I was about to say. Of the 2 slots, if we assume that these 2 teams right here are unlockable, I think one of them is likely going to be Team CYS.
Yep.
And yeah,
that's my vote.
Right, and to be honest with you, you're right. The other probably most likely one would be Rugal Weiss and Mature, right?
It's at least in the running.
Right. It's definitely one of the most probable ones. And so DLC, I mean, Rock, everyone talks about because he's just popular.
Rock's just going to print money, and they know it.
Rock is like the Wolverine of KOF, basically. I mean, would he just be teamed with like Geese or something like that? Or
no. Again, like putting Rock with Kane and someone else, or putting him just with other Mark of the Wolves characters is fine. I mean, you could also just make jokes about some of the previous teams and have him on like a protege team of some other kind. So like let Whip be there, let Shingo be there. Any of that is also fair game. Putting him with Geese is a no-go.
Oh, man. But
also, though, in the KOF universe, Geese isn't dead, so there's no reason for Kane to try to recruit Rock, probably, is the only other, like, counter-statement to that.
I just gotta wonder, though. I mean, like, would they save Kim for a DLC? Is he popular enough for DLC?
Here's the thing, is that he is, whether he's popular or not is one question or another, but it's how iconic he is. And it's, again, we've talked, like, the perfect attendance. until now. It makes it feel kind of weird.
Yeah.
But he is really popular.
The thing is, like, would he just be with Cheng and Choi? Would they just put him with Cheng? When's the last
So
time
the
he's
thing is
actually...
that currently I think he's still in the mountains training with Gang Yil.
Okay.
So he might be on that or some other like master. He might even have like a 3-generation team where it'd be like Gang Yil, Kim, Jay.
Now, he was with Cheng and Choi in the last game, wasn't he? Or was that he was with Xanadu, right?
No,
they were with Xanadu.
They were with Xanadu. He was with Gang Yil Luong.
Right. What has he? When was the last time he was with Cheng and Choi?
Together, both of them.
Was that 13?
Were both of them in 13?
Were they even in 13 at all? Huh.
So not 12, not 11, not 03, 02.
Okay. 02 then. Dang.
Yep. 02 was the last time that they were that team.
And so, in other words, canonically, 01 was the last time they were together in that in a team. Because
and then there was them in June. Because it was Cheng in June in 03, and then 01. Because there was no Choi in that game because Choi was replaced by Ma-Lin.
Gotcha.
And then 01 had Mei Li. Or was Mei Li was on girl team, I think, and it was June on that team.
Interesting.
Was it?
So Kim, Cheng, and Choi just haven't even been together.
Haven't been an actual squad in a while.
Okay. So there's no reason to bring them back that way. So yeah, I mean, but then who would you? Yeah, like would you do it just with Gang Yil? Like it would be cool if they just brought him with his kids. I think that would. Be a cool
I mean, the big thing there is honestly just figuring out how to separate them. So if we're real lucky, we'd instead get like Mei Li, Dong, and Jae. And still have no Kim, but have him represented through both of his sons, and then you round out the team with Mei Li, which would be.
But it would be sad because that means Kim is still not in the game, right?
Let him retire until like another year or two.
You know what he needs
and then
to do?
let him found a new Masters team,
You know
like
what he
him and
needs to
Heidern
be?
or something.
He needs to be with Duck and Raiden. That's what he needs to do. Just make the Fatal Fury team and then have it so he's trying to reform them.
And so that's the other thing is I feel like one of the other DLC or unlockable teams has to be Southtown villains. Where you get like Yamazaki, Billy, Yamazaki, Geese, Hein, any combination thereof. Yeah, or the dude from Bariki 1 would be fucking sick as hell.
Oh, one of the characters from Bariki 1 is a student, huh?
I don't know if it's confirmed or if it was implied, but it definitely felt like it at the very least.
Okay.
Well, Heavy D would be great, period. So, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Heavy D... I mean, if they don't bring back the whole sports team, I'll be sad.
I know.
I'll be sad.
Yeah. I mean, so with that in mind, actually, we're talking about Raiden in 13. I'm still mad that he was Raiden, because he should have just been Big Bear.
Big Bear is
his face persona.
The face, right.
Yeah,
right,
Raiden's the heel persona.
Yeah, so if he was reformed in 13, he should have been Big Bear then, huh?
Yeah. Which is a great segue into Fatal Fury the motion picture.
That's right, yeah. I mean, I know you've told me before that nobody likes Gang Yil, right? So
Gang Yil is not terribly popular, and it's not like we hate him, but he struggles in the popularity charts pretty bad.
Okay. But the idea then is that Gang Yil is Hua Jai would actually be funny to bring back. Actually, could you pair him with Kim? That wouldn't make any sense.
That'd be a little weird, but you could let him go back with Raiden or Bear.
Okay. Were they on the same team?
Well, it's that they used to be Fatal Fury villains.
Right, yeah, okay.
Which I think would be fun to have, like, the Fatal Fury Reform Division.
Right.
So it'd be like them and Duck.
Please don't say that, ZMB.
Yo.
Oh, what's up, Big Tummy Dummy? So the Fatal Fury motion picture, we hinted at this a couple of weeks ago.
And speaking with Kitty, who is currently not here because she is helping her family and taking care of business. So that's part of the reason why we're not even thinking about doing it tonight, because it's something we need to fucking do.
For sure, yeah. So Fatal Fury, the movie, is available on Amazon Prime right now. And the way Amazon Prime stuff is available, as it says right here, is available with their Amazon Prime or video subscription to Twitch. You can actually do watch parties for anything on Amazon Prime. So what we want to do is potentially try to do a full-on watch party for this movie at one point in time. And we're just trying to figure out like what would be a good date to do that. Do we want to do it like specifically on a Wednesday for SNKronize? Do we want to do it on a weekend so more people can join?
So I currently have a suggestion.
Okay.
Is that so we don't do it next week because next week is likely to be a character reveal.
Right.
The following week, if we do it that Wednesday, we have a great SNKronize. We watch this. We all sing Whoa Angel together. It'll be fantastic. And then 2 days later is the beta.
Oh, that's right. Well, we can see. Yeah. Okay.
And Kitty should be on site for that anyway, which means that helps kind of optimize the scheduling.
Right. And it'll be right before. Actually, Thanksgiving is the following week, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to do it after the beta and do it for like a special Thanksgiving SNKronize?
Well, again, remember, Japan doesn't have Thanksgiving, so it's probably going to be a reveal trailer.
Okay.
So that's my. As part of this is the assumption that next week might have a reveal.
Right. Yeah.
And that the week of the beta will not.
KOF 13. Applesauce.
Fuck it, I'm down. Apple juice.
Apple juice. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So. Now this is also under the assumption that we get any reveals before the beta, because I mean, can you imagine if we like. All right, here's the beta, here's your 8 characters, and here's the character you really wanted. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, but they're giving us CYS.
We eat good. I'm not complaining.
I think people are going to be happy with the CYS.
I mean, and honestly, like, my guess is probably the next character is going to be Hula. I think that's a safe bet, unless somehow they decide to give us Liz and round out Ash's team or something. But I think that's a little bit of a long shot.
Okay.
So I'm feeling like Kula is the next character.
Yeah. Yeah, it is weird that there's no beta on PC.
I think it's defensive.
Yeah.
Because look what happened with Street Fighter V's beta.
Yeah.
The endless beta. When people hacked the fucking beta when it had a time limit and we just played it indefinitely.
It's the PC is a dangerous platform for a lot of people. I mean, you could definitely data mine the beta on PS as well, but
it's a hell of a lot more work.
It's a lot more work, and then it's also you can't hack it to keep playing it like you could with a lot of the
At least not in the same way. Like, you'd have to do a lot of, like, tunnel reverse engineer horse shit, Also, with that in mind, it's also probably because, kind of leaning on this point, that this game was probably developed for PS4.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be the lead skew. Sure. So what they need to do is make sure that it runs perfectly with all the netcode and everything on the thing they developed it for. Right. Because if it doesn't work there, sure as fuck isn't going to work on an Xbox.
Right.
And I mean, shit, like, as we've already seen with Samurai Showdown, is that, these multi-SKU launches don't ever go off without a hitch. Sam Show struggled a little bit on the Xbox, struggled a little bit on Switch now. So, yeah, you want to run your beta in optimal conditions to make sure those work first. So it's totally reasonable. And honestly, with that in mind, too, is that a majority of their target audience is probably on PlayStations.
It's true, too. Especially for Japan. Honestly, that's where the most of their players are going to be. I know a lot of Japanese players have started moving to PC for Guilty Gear and Street Fighter because that they play better on those platforms, but still, that's probably more like a top level player thing because it's such a heftier investment in both financially and real estate. Like you're taking up extra space. Yeah, but I think no, I mean, I think that them doing it purely on PlayStation is going to be fine. And again, I'm just like happy that they're even doing it at all because...
Well, and again, the fact that it's on the PS4 and PS5, and we don't know if it's going to have crossplay immediately, but we will have both systems running to find out how it goes.
Yeah, how is I don't even know what the PC market is like in Japan. Are they obsessed with getting super high-end PCs, or do they just get functional PCs, or do most people just use internet cafes?
I'm under the impression that if you own a PC, you go for, like, at least best bang for buck. So you're probably going to have, like, what would be the equivalent of, like, 1,000 to 1,200, maybe more. But... with cost of living and income and everything, it's a lot different a space. I'm not the person to ask on this by any means,
Right.
but I know that it's a lot more challenging for a lot of people out there. And so, you can just install stuff at the internet cafe half the time.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, shit, when we were there, we would walk by internet cafes and they had fucking all the crazy ads and trailers running for like all the MMOs and stuff. You just walk in, log into your account for a few hours, walk it off.
Yeah. That is a good question, though. Are they going to do a 120 FPS mode like Samurai Showdown did?
Distinctly possible, given the fact that it's the same engine.
Right.
It's on Unreal.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I had the only way I could get this streaming PC was through donations and stuff. So
Paid for by the support of viewers like you.
basically,
Your fucking PBS.
yeah. So appreciate the viewers out there,
Yeah.
for sure. It's usually a middle ground
Yeah,
situation.
like I
specs
said,
and
the
okay
bang for
price.
buck,
Yeah.
the bang for buck level. Yeah, top end crazy batshit is, and besides, I mean, we're still in the universe where top end of the line, like video cards, kind of like a joke. You don't have that conversation because they're not that readily available and they're stupidly expensive.
Stupid blockchain shit.
Yeah.
And everything. I mean, look. When I got this PC, Tubo ordered the parts for me, and I got all this fucking flashing color shit, and I don't even see my PC for 90% of the time. So,
Yeah, but it can act as a great nightlight for your kitchen.
It can be. Yeah. I turn my kitchen into a disco parlor for my cats while they eat. Yeah.
Fucking throwing a rave in there.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah, and then and then as far as like the KOF 15 beta, obviously we're going to be playing it. We're obviously going to be streaming it. In terms of like viewer lobbies and stuff, that's definitely going to be a TBD to be determined, to be announced, because
we'll see how the net code is and everything.
we need to see how the netcode is, but also we need to see what our lobby options are. We need to see that this runs well. We need to see what we can do here, and also we need to see when we're actually going to put the game down long enough to set up a lobby. Because Lord knows, I'm probably going to spend the first 4 hours in training mode before I even bother encountering another human being.
Yeah.
But no, so it's definitely going to be more of a to be announced, to be determined thing. But it's something we do want to do, is have synchronized viewer lobbies.
Just streaming it all.
Let all you guys beat each other up, beat us up. It'll be great.
Yeah.
But that's a matter of what the lobby structure is, because it could just be, the 1v1 friend match.
Right.
In which case it's like, okay, we have run a set of 5. You jump out now. Let's invite someone else, which kind of fucking sucks.
Right.
That's. I mean, it's not a good streamer viewer experience. It's great for testing metrics because this is a beta before it's a demo. That's one thing we have to really make clear, is that companies run these things for them to have information.
Yeah.
The fact that it benefits us and generates goodwill, sweet. But they need the testing environment. And honestly, if I don't play it online, I'm an asshole.
Right.
I don't like playing online.
Right, but you want to help them.
But because I don't want to be that asshole who's like, oh, they're doing rollback online testing. That's great. Training mode. Oh yeah. Basically. So, let's all do our part to make sure the game launches with good netcode.
And, there is still, people also have to keep in mind and be ready for this as well. There are going to be long periods of time where the servers are going to go down because some shit isn't working or they're getting bombarded.
Yeah.
And so...
Oh, yeah. No, if the game runs online the entire time for the first 6 hours that the beta's up, I will be shocked.
Right.
Also, let's not forget that this is a fighting game with a free beta. You don't even have to pay for any service extra or anything like that. It's a free beta, which means that everyone and their grandma is going to try it.
Right.
Which means they are going to overload the servers.
Which is the right thing to do, to be honest with you, because that's how we found a lot of errors for a lot of these games before they came out, is because the Guilty Gear server got destroyed when the first beta went up. We couldn't even log in, if you remember.
Yeah.
We were just hi.
Yeah. Now, that being said, there is a good chance, I'm not speaking for SNK, but I'm just saying there's probably a good chance that you're not going to have to do the server login stuff upon booting the game.
Right.
Probably only when you want to access network features.
R code BS.
Hopefully we don't have none of that R code BS kind of thing. Because if nothing else, it's primarily Namco that does that.
Namco?
Bandai Namco?
That does which?
The like, you have to log in online before you even get to the title screen kind of shit. Because Dragon Ball does it too.
Oh, okay. But Dragon Ball and Guilty Gear's not Bandai Namco. Right?
Or so it's Arc. I mean, sorry, Arc.
Yeah,
that's right. It's very much an Arc thing, but I think Bandai has it in one of their other games too, and they work together a bit.
They'll have a wanna play KOF code.
Yeah.
That'd be great if they did that and actually had that Kyo face there,
dude. The absolute best if you log in like preparing to play KOF, you see
yeah,
that fucking face.
Oh man.
Yeah, but anyways, you're right. I was misspeaking partially, but it's because Dragon Ball started it.
Yeah.
In terms of like the way it is now, like because at least in Street Fighter V, if it doesn't fucking work, you go to the non-logged in title screen, which is fine.
Right.
And then, but Dragon Ball and Guilty Gear, and it was started with Dragon Ball, is that you just got to fucking deal with it for a while.
I mean, Dragon Ball had the option patched in later that when you started it, you could just cancel and just play offline. Yeah.
But until then, you had to hold that shit.
Yeah, which was really awful. And we're also expecting, hopefully, a story, in about 4 minutes.
What time is it? Yeah, we're getting
4
close.
minutes. So
I just got a notification. I'm sure it's useless. Yeah, it's not. That's not a notification I need right now.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, and I mean, I did. Did I? I mean, I did play the Guilty Gear beta for 3 matches.
No, we played a bunch.
Online.
Oh, online. Oh, okay.
We played locally a lot, and you played online a lot.
Yeah,
I did not.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because, there's at least 2 characters in the upcoming beta that I really want to put time into. The third character is kind of like a wild card slot. I'm probably going to play Shermie, because I want to see how grapplers feel in the game.
Gotcha. So what are you going to do? Dolores, Shermie, and... Chizuru. Okay.
Yeah, gotcha. Shermie's the wild card slot. I'm probably going to jump back and forth between Shermie and Chris.
Okay.
Because I'm an old fuck, and I'm basically retired from playing Iori. I just can't find that much enjoyment of Shotos in general anymore. So I haven't taken Iori seriously since, Vanilla 02.
Dang, okay.
I sometimes would play the 98 Iori in 13 because I don't play 13. So I was like, fuck, 98 Iori, Leona, duel on. All right, cool. Now I have a team.
Yeah, I definitely want to try Chizuru myself, and then I probably want to... I'll try Iori. Maybe I'll play Kyo.
I mean, you should play everyone once.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I don't even think you've played Shune enough to hate his gameplay yet.
Yeah, I mean, every time I watch his... there was a combo video that I saw that started with Shune stuff. I don't know,
and you're just like, whoop-de-doo, dash punch, DP, I'm impressed.
It just didn't look... I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am kind of sad that Terry's not in this beta, but he was in the TGS demo.
Yeah.
Which brings us to a new point. So apparently, and I've seen someone mention in the chat already, someone in China... or in some Chinese-ish territory,
right.
has access to a new version of some kind of the TGS beta.
Okay.
So, and the only reason is it was a Chinese YouTube page or something was uploading one with Chinese characters instead of Japanese text or anything.
Okay, some people are saying it's Shanghai demo,
and they're just uploading hours.
Really? Oh, dang! So there's a bunch of new footage.
There's a bunch of new footage of the TGS build.
Okay.
Because our beta is a different roster.
Yeah.
We've got the Sacred Treasures team, we've got the CYS team, and then Shune and Dolores.
Yeah, I think that they're mad that Terry's not in it. I think they want to play Terry.
I mean, I'm kind of cool with the fact that we're getting the whole ass teams.
Yeah.
And, Shune because it's Shune.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I'm totally fine with the fact that I get Dolores instead of Isla.
Yeah.
I'm 100%.
I mean, I think they got a lot of good information out of Isla from the TGS show because they were like,
watch her get nerfed.
Yeah, and so they probably are going to be like, let's let people have a chance to see what they can do with Dolores. Because I even said this on yesterday on the Tuesday show too. That Guilty Gear beta not only did a lot good for the netcode stuff, it did a lot of good for the balance as well. Like they actually got some good information from balance. So, but Dako was actually playing a lot, huh? Okay.
I've also been terribly amused. Laban made a post about the beta saying, all right, everyone, when they ask for our impressions of the game, let's all make sure to say that Chris's jump CD is too slow. And just he wants to bring it back in line with 98. And just be a villain.
Oh man. I mean, Anji, to be fair, didn't show up until one of the later betas.
The final beta.
Yeah, the final beta. So we didn't have a lot of information for him, unfortunately. I mean, character like Nagoriyuki, when he got switched up between betas, we were all like,
he went from unplayable to top tier.
Well, no, that was the funny thing is that I thought he was really good before, and then they changed it so that his blood gauge was super high, and I was like, what have they done? And everybody's like, you just murdered Nagoriyuki. He's unplayable now. And then he came out and he's
a monster.
A monster, yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Then again, actually, it was one of the builds where Kai was actually good. When I thought Nago was pretty rough.
It's a shame they aren't using Terry from Smash to promote the beta.
Kappa. Yeah. But and the thing is that I don't care for vanilla Yashiro. I distinctly prefer Orochi Yashiro. And even in terms of grapplers, I like Orochi Yashiro more than I like Shermie.
Okay.
Because I'm one of the psychopaths that I'll play Orochi Shermie and then Orochi Yashiro. Oh, story is out and it's not the one that was expected?
Interesting. Okay. Should be listed here, right?
Likely, unless it's... They went to the rival team. Wow. Holy shit.
We were actually saying earlier that this was very unlikely that they would do this.
Yeah, so. we were talking before the stream. I was like, I don't know. They just revealed them, but holy shit.
Okay.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I don't want them to sit here and use Hydron's story to deconfirm Autohide.
Right.
This will break my fucking heart.
But on the surface, you look calm and ready.
Oh, yeah. Mom spaghetti.
All right, so do you want to do this again? Do you want to do voices again? Do you want me to just read the whole thing?
I want to take part in it, but it's also we got 2 female voices, and it's going to be hard to tell who's who, so...
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Do you want me to just read it straight up then?
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay, fine. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Team story here for the Rivals team. So we're probably going to find out a lot more information from this, hopefully.
And you can follow at home.
That's right. You can follow at home. That's right.
Follow along at home. Read with us.
Dark and stormy night, dude. Here we go.
Under the scorching sunlight.
Under the scorching sunlight, from the gate of an orphanage, emerge a pair of tall figures, Hydern and Dolores. The metal gate slams shut as soon as they step onto the road, as if to hasten their departure. Barely batting an eye at the staff tut-tutting on the other side of the gate. What the hell is tut-tutting?
It was like tut-tut.
Hydern. Hydern produces a tablet from his breast pocket. Guess she wasn't here after all. I suppose not. And what haughty attitudes they had. I cannot fault her for running off. Dolores gently pushes up her pure golden frames and gazes past the gate. Frames. Frowning a little at her words, Hydern thinks back upon the conditions of the orphanage they had just finished surveying, with the director treating them like a pair of rabble-rousers despite their scheduled appointment, the angry bellowing of what seemed to be staff members in the distance, and the gloomy expressions of children they had passed in the halls. It was clear that this was not a happy place for children to live in.
Okay, real talk. When you have a dude in full military regalia with an appointment, and you treat him like rabble-rousers, they're probably hiding something because they're like, what's this piece of shit gonna do, raid me?
Right, dude, there's something going on here. Dolores' eyes return to Hydern at some point, but he pays no heed.
Dispassionately, he speaks. The search for the girl takes priority. We didn't come to fix their problems. Dolores offers a smile in response. You are right. Right you are. But there is a lot of ground to cover in the city. Do you truly expect to find her? I'd rather you didn't make light of me. The commander walks off, Dolores following close behind.
Wow, these two are really like teamed up.
Yeah, they get it.
Their target is an up-and-coming young graffiti artist living in South America whose works are a hit with the youth in the area.
Banksy?
And even abroad in social media.
Banksy!
She's able to stay relatively undetected as the artist would pop up in unexpected places, perform, and then disappear as soon as the police showed up. Normally, searching for someone like that in a city this size would present a major challenge. Unless they are a real pro. With a trail like this, there should be no problem tracking her. Standing at a distance, observing the young folk coming and going, Hydern pulls his tablet out once again. The crowd mostly comprises of local teenagers, with some younger faces here and there. All of them are cheering and whistling in a frenzy, enjoying the vivid colors flying before their eyes.
Dude, is Hydern gonna sit there like, how do you do, fellow kids?
Seriously. The tablet over his shoulder. Did you see that Steve Buscemi dressed as that for Halloween?
I did.
Dude.
I just hung out on the streets.
Yeah.
No, Buscemi's a fucking shit.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. In front of them, a single girl faces the wall, bright yellow jacket fluttering behind her. After casually donning a gas mask, she holds up spray cans in both hands and begins to paint, adjusting her position with nimble steps as she goes. At a glance, it appears that she is just a normal artist bursting with talent and vitality. However, it's the hands floating above her head that draws interest. Well,
this must be the work of an elite stand.
This girl has hands floating above her head. Do you think this is the one we're looking for?
oh man.
El Diablo.
Tag in, Amanda. The girl chucks a spray can into the air, where it is definitely caught by a strange purple hand emitting an eerie aura. The hand then begins painting in a spot beyond her reach. These hands bear a strong resemblance to the phantom ones controlled by the boy Shune, but smaller and seemingly lacking destructive force. What's more, they move as if possessing a will of their own. Smiles leave the onlookers' faces as they notice Hydern and Dolores approaching, almost as soon as the girl finishes painting. You must be Isla. The girl turns in response to Hydern, pulling the gas mask from her face as she eyes him suspiciously.
Jesus Christ.
And what if I am, huh? Who wants to know?
Wiki.
Manuela.
That's amazing.
Oh, man.
I'm looking for Amanda hug and kiss.
I need Amanda hug and kiss. Isla leads the pair to a tiny park with barely any people around. Stopping beside the playground in the corner of the area, she stares them up and down in obvious distrust. The king of fighters? You mean that big brawl some fat cat puts on? I saw the last one. The girl takes an intimidating stance and stares.
I'm just imagining Antonov like, you calling me fat?
Fat cat. The girl takes an intimidating stance and glares angrily while her phantom hands, who she calls Amanda, clench into fists as if ready to box. Though she appears aggressive, she seems more cautious than hostile. After exchanging glances with Dolores, Hydern looks Isla square in the eye and begins to talk. We would like you to join our team for the upcoming tournament. Why? What's your game? Sorry, but I can't answer that right now. I only divulge intel on a need-to-know basis. Still, I'd say joining this tournament would be to your benefit. Hydern stares silently at Isla while her expression grows even more grim. Dolores watches on a few steps away, appraising the girl from a distance. After a short pause, Isla clicks her tongue in displeasure. Well, yeah, I could use the prize money to get the brats at the orphanage some good food. Plus, me and Amanda will become world famous. Couldn't ask for anything more. Still, the young girl pulls the brim of her cap down, her voice lowering to a growl. This is fishy as hell. Wouldn't trust you as far as I could spit. Her interest in the conversation gone, Isla turns her back on the pair. Amanda makes a gesture as if to shoo them away. Doubt was only natural. A couple of adults she'd never seen before suddenly showing up, asking her to come with them? Not only that, but her past experiences means she bears a deeply ingrained mistrust of people who act all high and mighty just because they are older than her.
Yeah, grown-ups suck.
Hydern begins to wonder whether Leona should have come on this mission, given how close she is in age to the target. Is Leona really supposed to be that young?
Not that I was aware of anymore. Then again, I mean, you probably have two people over the age of 30.
Right.
So...
Dolores breaks her... Oh, she's supposed to be 19.
Is Leona still under 20 after fucking 30 years?
Dolores breaks her silence, her voice cutting through the tension hanging over the park. And what if I were to say that boy, Shune, would be attending this tournament? Isla's shoulders stiffen. She stops in her tracks and slowly looks back at the woman. Shune? You mean that sourpuss with the headphones that joined in with the old fart and that narcoleptic kid last time? The heck you're bringing him up for?
God damn, shots fired.
Unlike before, the girl's voice betrays a faint interest. Dolores narrows her eyes and adjusts the bridge of her glasses. Because he is the only other person on this planet with your power. You must be very curious, I assume. Curious about this boy who is just like you. Isla turns to face them wide-eyed. Though she does not respond, the astonishment in her gaze and stiff expression serve to answer Dolores' question. Allowing herself a brief sigh, the woman continues to speak, cold stare piercing through the girl. The power to control phantoms. Haven't you ever wanted to know where it came from? Or to ascertain its secrets? The secret of me and Amanda. If you cooperate with us, I promise you this. We will reveal everything once you've fully demonstrated your ability. Isla cannot bring herself to meet the woman's gaze. Beside her, Amanda bobs around in a panic. A lengthy pause ensues. The playground equipment creaks sharply in the wind, resonating loudly in the quiet. A couple children run off after a ball in the distance, and Isla, eyes still downturned, opens her mouth at last. If I work with you guys, you'll tell us what the deal is with us, yeah? She seems barely able to utter the question. Hydern responds quietly. Your collaboration would come with proportionate compensation. That I can assure you. Isla lets out a long, deep sigh in response, and then, shaking her head as if to steel herself, she finally turns her body to fully face the pair. Don't think this means I trust you. You guys are all the same. But, Isla pushes up her cap with a smirk. The fearless grin is the first time either Hydern or Dolores had ever seen her smile. If you make me leader. Dang.
Yep. No, apparently it's supposed to be Isla.
Is it? Okay. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Isla.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I mean, even the trailer calls her Isla.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's like Isla. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
no, it doesn't all work like Isla.
Yeah. Okay.
Ear.
Interesting. So she wants. So what's interesting about this? So given the trailers that we saw with their little interactions, I thought maybe Isla and Dolores had history, but they've never met before. So this is just a complete brand new thing. So interesting. Yeah, Isla, La Isla Bonita. Interesting. Okay, so basically it's just expanding on the Shune situation, right? Okay. And again, 14 was the first game in the Verse Saga, right? So technically
in the floaty hand saga.
In the floaty hand saga. So technically, given the potential for it, King of Fighters 16 would be the conclusion.
of the series, right?
Of the floaty hand song.
And then they would have a theoretic dream match, which they don't do anymore. So,
well, we don't know.
Right.
I mean, like, because the thing is, the 13 and 12 situation, like, threw a monkey wrench into everything.
Okay.
So, who knows? We might go back to the normal dream match rotation.
Yeah.
But that's also like 5 years off at a
right.
bare minimum.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it almost feels like they would almost be beneficial just to keep building on this, and instead of making a 16, just conclude the story.
15 champion
Yeah,
edition.
exactly, right. But yeah, in Spanish, it would be pronounced Isla. But I don't know if there's like any sort of special kind of thing to that, so...
Just shoot a line to KBR. Hey, is there any reason why her name wouldn't be pronounced Isla? No.
Yeah, but I mean, the trailer already pronounced it Isla, and it seems like they made sure they did their research, you know, to put her in Chile at all. Like, you're just, I mean, it's like when Harada, when they put out, what's her face?
The Polish president.
Like, they tried to do all the research on Poland as possible to make sure it was accurate, so.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you know, assuming Angel's in the game, her trailer's be like, oh no. Like, it's
So,
going to.
Again, what's interesting about the story to me is that my perception of the team was Isla and Dolores, and what the hell is Hydern doing here? But now, what this is showing is that Hydern and Dolores are the team, and they just came searching for Isla to try to get her to figure out the Shune situation. And so, okay, Verse has the hands.
Yes.
Shune has the hands.
Yes.
What's the story in 14 that we know of so far of the main plot?
Shune has the hands.
And Verse has the hands.
So what it came down to is, like, Verse apparently exists, whatever. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Shune has magical floaty hands. And he doesn't know how to control them. And so Tung Fu Ru agrees to train the boy to help him, you know, understand himself better, as well as Mei Tenko.
Okay.
And then Antonov throws a KOF.
So Antonov, like, I mean, because he's like the only person who's run a KOF without like some sort of crazy ulterior motive
whatsoever.
He just wanted to run it and win, basically, right? And the one time Chizuru ran it, that was Botan, right? Or
No. So Chizuru ran 96. And that was to have KOF and kind of also somewhat lure out Gannett.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
In 03, it was puppet strings bullshit. Adelheid is kind of a mixed bag because he still has like a legacy. Like he didn't have any ill will, but I don't know if you want to say an ulterior motive or not. It's a little complicated.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the whole thing right now is like, you know, Dark Chaos asks, you know, how did Dolores and Hydern meet? I mean, to be fair, he might have known her before she died.
That's my running theory.
Right.
Is that he knew her beforehand, and so when Verse brought her back, then he's like, oh.
Right. She might have actually just showed up at Hydern's door, and Hydern was like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, good luck with that. He's in the ocean, but...
Oh, okay, fine.
But even so, I mean, the thing is that at the end of 14, we know that Hydern is keeping track of everyone who's ever been resurrected. And so whether he knew her before or not is an entirely different topic.
Actually, if he was keeping track of everybody who was resurrected... that's probably a good call that maybe he did know who she was beforehand. As soon as he saw her, he was like, oh God, we need to, you know,
squat up. Welcome back.
She has like some stuff like that.
Yeah, because this is basically the fucking blip at this point.
Yeah. Right? But I mean, obviously, it feels like it's a blip for only the people who are coming back from a KOF death, right? I mean, it has to be somehow tied to Verse. It's not like this random person who died in a car accident is coming back.
Well,
right?
I mean, again, like Ash coming back is a weird, complicated one because he never even died because he would have had to exist, and so it's kind of a weird like. Bleh.
That's right, because everyone forgot that Ash even existed. He was literally erased from the timeline, but only Elizabeth retained memory for some reason, basically.
Yeah, she's too fucking attached.
Right.
They've also like they have implied / theorized that Leona's birth father might have come back.
Right.
Who definitely died before KOF 94.
Right. What's his name again?
Gaidel.
And so there's theories maybe he'd come back as a DLC.
Or more to a point is that he'd finally be introduced.
What if he was the bad guy? What if he's the main boss of this game?
So that's fundamentally borderline impossible.
Oh, really?
Because he's actually a decent dude, and he became a pacifist, which is part of why Genetz decided he needed to die.
Oh, okay.
Because he wouldn't, come back to destroy all the humans.
Right. Isn't it said in the Akari's 14 ending that he revived?
No, in 14's ending, Hyder looks at Leona and said, "I'm sorry, we still don't have any confirmation on Gaidel." Almost verbatim just says, "We don't know yet,
right?
But we're keeping our ear to the ground."
Well, I mean...
That, however, is an excellent question, Flashy Flash.
Right, because they were in 14.
Yeah, but there's still ghosts in 14. Which is fine.
But how...
The question is that if then Verse dies and everyone gets to resurrect, why are Vice Mature still ghosts in Iori's story mode in the fucking webpage?
Are they?
Yeah, they literally are haunting him as Chizuru approaches.
Wait, where? Oh, in the story?
Sacred treasures.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. The voices belong to Vice and Mature, who haunt Iori like ghosts, right?
Well, I mean, that might be a thing, is that they might be joking about them haunting with like ghosts when they're not ghosts anymore, but it's heavily implied.
Right.
Sup, Cobra?
The funniest thing, too, is that nobody acknowledges the fact that they were supposed to be dead except Xanadu.
Except basically Xanadu and maybe Iori, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, they are Hakushu or Hakushu puppies, whatever the fuck they, the sort of next level. But yeah, I think they're true Hakushu. And yeah, so I mean, one of the things too is that Genetz technically probably isn't even dead. Because he died, yeah, but he's also been noted as probably still being around. Like, just
but wasn't he's the one that was in the background of the stage that was...
His corpse was, yeah.
His corpse was,
but
right?
Basically anyone who's like really under Orochi will be back. Mm-hmm. Like fucking Terminator.
Right.
They'll be back. Whatever. Well, in all fairness, I hadn't seen that part, but in all fairness, so one of the things is that one of the two was in 12, and then like they just added the head swap after in 13.
Because it's really interesting too, because all the previous storylines, although the Nest stuff, the Nest stuff show up in the Ash Saga? No, Ash Saga is the Nest stuff, right?
No,
Nest is
99 to 01 is Nest,
right.
and then 03 to 13.
So is the Orochi Saga for 95 to 97 technically, because 94 was we didn't know.
Yeah,
what was happening yet.
And it's like one of those things like 94 and 95 are like they're like the Street Fighter Alpha games.
Right.
Like you don't even know what the fuck's going on.
Right. Now in the Nest Saga, do they reference the Orochi stuff a lot, or was it just like kind of like a new story outside of the Sacred Treasure
more
stuff?
like in passing?
Okay.
I mean, because remember, like the Nest Saga starts off with Kyos everywhere,
right? And then the Ash Saga doesn't really refer to Nests and Orochi that much.
Not so much, other than hey, Kate Ash is around.
Right. And
Cool is around. So
this is the first time the storyline is like directly tying into previous stories and arcs.
Yeah, it looks like it's tying together all of them more thoroughly. Because it's also like, this is the first time where you have like mainline Orochi characters fucking with modern characters. Like that kind of thing.
And CYS being back.
Yeah, CYS and Chizuru in the same canonical game as stuff like K-Dash and Ash and everything again is fascinating.
No, I mean, Geese is not technically dead. He was dead in the Fatal Fury timeline.
He's dead in the Fatal Fury universe. He's not dead in the KOF universe.
Right, but again, the crazy thing to me was that Rock references the Fatal Fury timeline in the ending, right?
That's SNK Heroines.
Oh, was it SNK Heroines?
SNK Heroines, Girl Terry's ending is like having the nightmare about Rock or some shit like that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, which is mostly just silly shit.
The whole plan of those from the past was reviving Orochi, but it's stealing its power for Psyche?
Yes.
Okay. So there was a little bit of Orochi tie-in, basically. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because Orochi is everywhere.
Right. Yeah, Fatal Fury and KOF are different, but what it feels like they're doing with this verse thing is that they might be trying to combine all the timelines.
I would not be surprised if we start hitting fucking, KOF's Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next thing you know, Shune Prime is gonna punch reality, and then all of the universes are gonna condense.
Ultron's gonna come in and try to blow up the multiverse,
Darkseid comes down, shoots eye lasers at Rugal. No big deal.
Yeah.
And yes, I did just decide that Shune is Superboy.
Interesting. Okay.
Fuck Superboy Prime.
It's interesting because, for me, it was always fascinating. Even though I didn't know any of the details, but it was always neat to me.
KOF and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yep. I like the fact that they had those different storylines, that they went from the Orochi to the Nests and the Ash Saga. It was always kind of a neat thing to me, but almost kind of neater that they're tying them all together now. And I'm really curious to see.
Yeah, I mean, because the Orochi Saga will never truly die.
Yeah, because it was the first one. Well, when you fell in love with KOF, a lot of people fell in love with the Orochi Saga.
Well, and I mean, it's also that, Orochi is to KOF what Bison is to Street Fighter now. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, but even Street Fighter 3 didn't have a Bison in it, right?
Yeah, but then you still had nothing but rumors floating around that never came to fruition or were confirmed.
Were there?
Dude, you don't have any idea how many people decided that Remy must have been Bison's long lost son or some shit.
I thought he was Guile's long lost son.
That one too, but that's not the only one. And then people trying to figure out how Q might have been tied to Shadaloo at some point. And
well, yeah, but see, that's all speculation.
Yeah,
though,
but the thing is, Street Fighter 4's entire plot was Seth, which is just SIN, which was leftovers from Shadaloo, and became its whole thing. Mm-hmm. It all tracks down to Bison in one way or another. Yeah. And so Orochi's kind of the same way. Everything that happens in KOF is somehow trails back to Orochi. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nest Saga was probably the least Orochi interference of any KOF saga to date.
Most out there theory I have, Dolores was Hyder's wife that Rugal killed, and he's using Isla to try to see if he can find his daughter.
I had considered what if Dolores was Hyden's wife, but that I think we would have already had to deal with that somewhat by now. That would have come up. But I don't know. There's a lot that it could be.
So Hyden canonically has a wife that was killed by Rugal, but never has a name or any.
Not that I'm aware of. Okay. But yeah. Rugal killed Hyden's whole family except for him, and then ripped his eye out and just left him there as insult to injury kind of thing.
Basically, you can suffer now because I've murdered your whole family, and you lost an eye.
Yeah. So eventually you might have my permission to die.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Rugal is a huge piece of shit. Right.
And then Rugal's eye
was taken by Genetz.
Did
I send you that picture of the amusing Twitter artist comic panel of just them all taking each other's eyes?
You might have. It sounds a little familiar, but no one's taken Genetz's eyes.
No.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, but then we had the running gag that Hyden must have taken Ramon's eye.
This sounds very Metal Gear. I mean, honestly, I'm not. I wouldn't. It's. I mean, not as convoluted as Metal Gear, obviously, but.
I love having no reception for no reason. It's 5G, full bars, nothing's loading.
That's weird.
Annoying. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely sent it to you because it was funny as hell, but now I don't know where I have it.
Was that something recent?
Yeah, recent-ish.
I remember something from a long time ago, I feel like. But then again, it's hard to figure out what time is these days. By the way, guys, let us know in the chat. We were talking about this, and then the story thing came out and everything. But let us know if 2 weeks from now is a date that you guys would like to do the Fatal Fury watch-along thing. We'll figure out how to make that all work, and then we can do that, and we can all sit around and watch some Fatal Fury, the movie, together on a Twitch watch party. Have a good time, make jokes about the movie, and, you guys can quote the lines and sing the songs and everything like that, because I've never seen it before, so I will be unable to do that. Unless you want to prep me by making me learn the lyrics to this song first. No. Okay.
Where in the...
No, that's fine. Don't even...
No, I'm mad. It's like...
No, yeah, I get it. Absolutely.
It's like a requirement.
Oh, man. But yeah, let me know in the chat, guys, if you want to do that watch-along for the Art of Fighting anime.
We are not rewatching that. I am not watching that. So me and Kitty actually rewatched it sometime in the past few months. And some elements of it are a little better than I remember, and some of them were just as bad as I remembered. It's... Yeah,
I mean, the main thing about the watch along is that at least we can stream the video legally. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. So even if you don't have Prime and can't watch along with us, you can just watch us watching them. We'll be streaming the movie mostly, so you can watch it.
Something to that effect, anyway.
Yeah. We will definitely do a stream for the beta for KOF 15. So.
A stream.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it could be a stream if we never stop.
Oh, right? There's definitely going to be a sleep at some point.
Okay.
I mean, we're old bastards. We need our sleep.
Speak for yourself. No, I was kidding. I do need my sleep. That's why.
Yeah,
in the afternoon.
That's the thing, though, is that your sleep is going to be from like, oh, it's 10 a.m. I guess I should go to bed.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, so yeah, I feel 2 weeks from now is probably the best time to do it because it'll be the Wednesday just before the beta, and first of 100 free, absolutely.
Oh Jesus.
And hopefully around set 20 or 30, you'll start getting a lot more comfortable. Because I've been meaning to sit you down with 14 to get you a little more comfortable beforehand.
Maybe we should have did that today, honestly. But
hindsight's 20/20, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, again, I played a whole night session with Sanchez when the game first came out. So
yeah, but that's also like 5 years ago.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
and the thing is, short hops take some getting used to.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I did play some N Groove, so
Yeah.
A Parsec KOF 14.
Definitely would rather do the Fightcade 11.
Yeah, I mean the Parsec KOF 14 thing would be possible, but then I'd have to install it on my images and all that stuff like that. I don't even think I own the game on Steam anyway, and it would just be a pain in the ass.
Also, we definitely watched Fatal Fury the motion picture on Sci-Fi. Definitely did.
Wait, what do you mean? What is...
The Fatal Fury the motion picture?
Oh, the live action one, you mean?
No. Fatal Fury the motion picture, the thing we're going to watch in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was on the Sci-Fi Channel before?
So the Sci-Fi Channel, every Saturday night at midnight, back in 2000s, would show an anime movie every week.
Whoa!
There's a handful of anime movies that's the first place I saw them, and some of them were not always the best, but some of them I was like, oh fucking hell yeah! And sometimes it'd be like, yo, they're showing Iria, let's fucking go! I'm gonna watch that again.
Okay. Sci-Fi Channel doesn't exist anymore, right? Or is it still there?
It is a hollow husk of what it once was.
Because I remember that it's SYFY now, right? But
yeah.
I mean, look, cable just doesn't really exist anymore now. It's all these stupid streaming services. We've just replaced cable with a different version of cable, basically, which is super annoying. Basically, everything has become on demand. Everything has become on demand.
Yeah, but so I've been talking with one of my buddies about that, too. It's like, really? So we don't have cable anymore, and everyone's going to have all these streaming services, and then people wonder why Peacock is struggling. Because you think I'm going to pay extra for a streaming service of basic cable?
Actually, Peacock is largely free with ads, and then you can pay extra for some of the other.
Yeah, but I could also just have just pay for a little bit and just watch HBO Max. Because HBO Max is apparently kicking all sorts of ass right now.
Yeah, well, that's because they're trying their experiment, which is all the movies are coming out there at the same time, but they're reevaluating that
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't care. They actually have movies that are like more than a year old that no one else is bothering to keep.
I see what you're saying. Right.
And then there's, Amazon Prime where it's like, oh, this movie. Yeah, you can rent it. Why do I... sometimes, like, if it weren't for Fatal Fury Motion Picture, I'm just going to sit here like, why am I paying for Prime Video? Like, it's... Actually, no, I did watch Invincible. I watched Invincible and I watched The Boys.
Was that on... That was on Amazon, though. Those were on Amazon.
The Prime Video.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, Invincible and The Boys were actually really nice to have, but it's like there's so many movies that I wanted to watch that they're not on there, and then they're not on Netflix. I'm like, what the fuck's the point?
It's impossible now. I mean, my brother I was just talking to him about it today. He's the one that keeps subscribing and unsubscribing to all these streaming services so he can watch everything. And yeah, he was telling me about how that all works now, and HBO Max is one of the ones that he goes back to a lot because all the movies that are in the theaters are coming out. That's how he saw Dune, and everything. So
it seems reasonable. Yeah. But it's like, we're definitely at the point where they've just reinvented cable. Good job.
Exactly. But I mean, the neat part about it is that you can easily subscribe and unsubscribe. Because with cable, you had to buy everything all at once, right? You had to buy everything together.
Oh, you want to cancel HBO? You got to wait 2 months.
Yeah, or that's part of the premium package. So if you cut HBO, you cut everything.
Yeah, well, it's not like I wanted to pay for Showtime to begin with, you jerks.
And then, of course, the other problem, too, is that it wasn't on demand. Now it's just freaking on demand. You watch whatever you want.
But that's also like
schedule.
That's like the speed of modern things now.
Right.
Like if you have a service and it's not on demand, you are a special in-person event or you're screwing up.
Right. Yeah. A lot of the new ones had the on-demand service that you could watch, shows that just aired and stuff. So I never used it. I never used the on-demand service. So. But didn't they charge extra for on-demand?
Not that I'm aware. I mean, they did it first if you had like TiVo when it launched, maybe. That was kind of like a little pricier, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it, Dark Chaos. It's just like the way that, like, it used to be so convenient because everything was on Netflix.
Well, and when it's not just that, too, is it also, like, Netflix apparently doesn't have, like, the best contracts for the creators.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like, like some people have like, their established brands and names and then they know they're a safe bet. But like, I mean, again, like look at Squid Game. Squid Game, he got like 60 grand for that show, something like that. Something like ludicrously low amount for how big it's gotten.
Oh, dang. Okay. I mean, he probably had no idea it was going to get that big, but still, there's no royalties.
Apparently he did because he'd been sitting on the script for like 15 years. He knew the gold he had and no one else apparently did.
Yeah. Dude, I've been saying this for a while, TX Charlie. I just want a third season of freaking Luke Cage, dude. Because Luke Cage ended on a cliffhanger-ish kind of thing, and I was just like, I want to know what happens. I just rewatched all of it, and Luke Cage was so good, dude. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of pay-per-view-ish, but the way my brother does it, he waits till a bunch of movies amass onto one that he wants to see, and then he'll sign up for it in a month, watch them all, and then unsubscribe and stuff. So he always seems to have one extra one. I have the Netflix that he uses. He has the Disney Plus that I use.
Yeah.
So it's just those two are like the ones that we never unsubscribe from because they're too useful right now.
Which reminds me, doesn't Hawkeye start soon?
24th of December.
Oh, is it that far off?
Yeah.
I thought it was sooner than that.
Yeah, it starts on the 24th of December.
Well, that's fine. We've got, 2 movies between now and then?
Yeah.
3 because I haven't seen Shang-Chi yet.
Yeah, that comes out on the 12th, I believe, here. So there's that, and then...
Eternals is like this week or next week?
Eternals is coming out like next week, I think. Yeah, I think it's coming out on the... Or is it coming out this weekend?
I think it's this Friday.
Okay. Then are we going to try to see that at some point?
Not this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to be out this weekend because of the Animal Crossing update.
Okay, fair enough. But then also after Christmas is going to be the Book of Boba Fett, but I don't know if you're...
No, but Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is like right before my birthday, I think.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna see that. So,
yeah, Spider-Man looks good. It's I think it's the red
flannel.
plaid.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even flannel. It's the red plaid pattern.
Yeah. I mean, I've worn this before many times, so I don't know why this is weird. I don't know why this is a particular sticking point right now.
I think that combined with the long hair being down, that might be it.
Yeah. God, my cats are just staring at me, dude. They're just...
Nathan's such a handsome little chonk.
Yeah. No, it is the long hair. I need to either cut this or figure out something to do with it, because it's gotten a little bit too crazy now at this point. So yeah, I need to do something with this.
Dude,
someone actually thought I was wearing a wig. Someone actually claimed that I was wearing a wig on CPT.
Congratulations. Your hair is so nice, people didn't think it was real.
Seriously. I was like, wait a second. I was like, this is my real hair, bro.
Also, just to bear in mind here, me and James are a bit on the older side. I think we're both sick of doing Bohemian Rhapsody in the car.
It's true. It's true.
Like, we've done it so many times.
Oh, man. Towel on my head, do the Daigo thing.
It's so called sad. A do-rag.
Dude,
you have no idea, by the way, how happy I was to see someone spell do-rag with an O instead of a U.
Is that how it's supposed to be spelled?
I'm not going to say that that's an objective truth.
Right.
But it's a do-rag because it's a rag for your hairdo.
Right, yeah.
But if you try to purchase a do-rag anytime in the past 20 years, it's spelled D-U-R-A-G.
Yeah, I don't know what the history of that is.
But I saw someone on Twitter write it with an O, and I was pretty happy. I'm just going to say that.
Right. No, this is...
Because I'm one of the people who throws a shit fit about computer mouses.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, this is SNKronize, where we just talk about SNK stuff, right? As you can see by the logo down there.
Is that bottle?
Bottle is here. But yeah, this is SNKronize, where
I am not David.
Yes. That Tuesday show is still on UltraChen channel. So
also, the Tuesday show is on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And today is not Tuesday.
No, definitely not. Though we've had Tuesday shows on Wednesdays before, but not recently. So.
However, I do kind of want to suggest something that's similar to what you guys do for the Tuesday show.
What's that?
Is using the SNKronize Twitter have something of like a mailbag of sorts.
Oh, yeah, where people ask us questions. Yeah,
because I mean, like, we obviously can just shoot the shit all day on, like...
Right.
I mean, how many times can I really ask the question, what character do you want to see? Because I can literally ask that question every week as I'm terrible. But I feel that, viewers at home, if you ever want to ask us questions or have, like, a mailbag thing, just, shoot stuff at the SNKronize Twitter. And, we could look at it and be like, that's a good-ass question. Let's talk about that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty. I accidentally smacked her in the face. Now she's all scared.
Oh, man. And we could do really bad intro videos for it, too. Like, have the fucking Blue's Clues mail time, but have Kyo's face instead.
I mean, you've seen the Tuesday show mail, right? No. You've never seen the Tuesday show?
I've never seen the intro for it, no.
Oh, God. I'll show you the Tuesday show mail stuff later, so... But I don't know. I mean, I guess the question is, do you want to find anything more to talk about, or do you want to just make it a short episode today?
I mean, I was planning on it being a pretty short one because we didn't have certain things. But, I mean, we could do, like, a quick little chat AMA thing because, I mean... We've spent more time talking about chat questions as it is.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about Netflix here at this point in time.
Or like the history of Angel. And, I mean, we could just stare at the Dolores trailer again. That wouldn't be a problem.
What do you think I'm doing all the time? No, just kidding.
It's like, funny you should mention that. You know how we went to lunch, we came back.
Dolores videos all day. That's all I've been working on. Told you I was working on a project today, right? So just watching Dolores.
So no wonder you were so focused.
Yeah, basically. Oh man.
Although I could do one thing. I don't know if anybody's follows any artists on Twitter, but Gage 1990X was taking commissions recently, and I was like, hey, how about a picture of Mary working out with Guy Tendo?
Right, yeah.
And I was really happy about that. So
I mean, you've tweeted that a bunch of times.
I've retweeted it, and then I colored it myself and retweeted that.
Right. So you can definitely check that out on Olaf's Twitter at OlafRedland if you want to see what that looks like. Unless you want me to put it up here.
It's fine.
Yeah, I think that SNK's reliance on KOF making KOF games that follow KOF series is actually holding the company back. I mean, they tried to diversify the kind of games, right?
Twice.
They made Samurai Showdown and...
Oh, well, I mean, not even that, but keeping the KOF games in the traditional format. So you gotta bear in mind, the NES Saga had the Striker system. The Ash Saga had free tag systems.
Right.
And people kept asking why they were doing that and not just making games like 98. So it's more like a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right, yeah. I mean, the biggest thing that makes it harder is that with fighting games getting larger and larger, with more and more characters because of DLC over time, it makes it so that a lot of people are intimidated by games like this because they have to learn 3 characters.
Yeah, but on the other hand, people play fucking Marvel.
Yeah, but Marvel was also intimidating to a lot of people at some point as well. So
I mean, it's always going to because the super jumps and some of the execution and stuff.
And that's why I think MVCI, they chose to do 2 plus a gem because they were trying to reduce that, right?
And then they made the game more problematic.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know Capcom was really down on the CVS2 because you had to pick ratios and pick grooves and stuff, and they said that people would go to the arcade and be like, oh, look, and then they'd start and be like, what is all this?
There were too many subsystems on character select.
Right, yeah. And so, I mean, I don't think that's going to hurt KOF, though, because I think that's what's expected out of KOF, right?
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is that you, again, kind of in the damned if you do, damned if you don't, is that legacy players have a certain expectation.
Right.
And you're probably better sticking to keep your legacy players than trying to win over strangers and then alienating your legacy players.
I mean, again, the hardest part about this is, despite the fact that fighting games have attempted to simplify themselves in the past 5-10 years, the stigma of fighting games that they're impossible to learn keeps getting stronger and stronger. Now, I'm kind of part of that problem because I try to tell people that fighting games are hard to learn because they are hard to learn. Yeah. They are hard to learn.
They are not terribly pick up and play unless you have a friend who is also learning them.
Right, yeah. That's the thing, is the social aspect is missing. We had Jabali on as an interview on the Tuesday show yesterday, and he was just talking about how, like, one of the reasons why he loved fighting games is because he just got to meet people and talk with people and got to hang out with them, and they would discuss it and they would learn, and that's all the stuff that's missing right now. Which is why I keep telling everybody that ranked match is miserable. I mean, we both love fighting games and we both hate playing ranked. You know what I mean? Like, we can't do it. So... And I mean, to be fair, they have been making some games. I mean, like
so they haven't been making.
Right, they've been commissioning other. Yeah,
they've been publishing and letting other groups develop things, like the new Metal Slug Tactics, which looks
fantastic. Yeah, but again, like King Redacted, Kingless, is trying to say right now is that.
Good word.
SNK is not what it used to be. SNK 13 almost killed them. Again, right. Well, they did die.
Yeah.
They came back, and then 13 almost re-killed them.
Yeah. So the thing is, they're in a position where they absolutely must do kind of the old reliable. Because the old reliable is a safe bet. They can't afford to take big risks.
Right, exactly.
I mean, and let's be honest, Sam Show was still kind of a risk.
Yeah, and I mean, it did sell out of their expectations. It did better than they were expecting it to. And a lot of that, honestly, was probably due to stuff like Evo, having that kind of thing.
Evo, it looking really stylish, it being one of the easier games to pick up. Like, it's actually accessible without screwing top-level players, basically.
it's so crazy because you saw that KIT had some Sam show, Andy OCR won that one,
and then Dustin took second.
Right, and the whole thing was like they were all just sitting there saying, "It was like, God, the game is so fun when you play offline and everything." And honestly, like their bad netcode sunk them on that. That was the problem.
Well, and when we were saying at the beginning of the year, like KOF 15 needs rollback.
Has to have rollback.
Yeah.
And so now that they have the rollback and now that they're having the beta, I mean, that's, oh God, it's like someone at the company was smart enough to just basically say, someone there was smart enough to basically say that this has to happen. This has to happen. And shout outs to them for getting it all to occur because, again, I think it's super, super important that this all happens. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say rollback solves 75% of their problems, but it guarantees that
it prevents 75% of future problems.
Yeah. Basically, if the game came out with delay-based netcode, the game is dead. The game is 100% dead. Right? So, I'm 10 years older than my little brothers, always trying to get in the fight games. Now they're playing GG Strive because all their friends are. Exactly. I mean, someone in my chat one time said, like, the most beginner-friendly feature you can put into a fighting game is good rollback netcode. And I was like, that's so smart.
Because you actually can play people.
Yeah. And again, as much as everybody shits on it and everybody hates it, I think the lobby system in Guilty Gear Strive works out pretty well because a lot of the beginners that I would talk to, they're like, I like it. I'm on a floor with all these other people who are my same level and stuff, and they felt like that they would get even matches a lot more than other games. So
I do not know the stats for the 98 netcode beta for UMFE. I don't know what the stats are. They might have been released, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to agree with you. I personally would absolutely adore getting a Real Bout 3. Fatal Fury Real Bout 3. That's what I want. I don't want a new Mark of the Wolves. Like, I want Mark of the Wolves 2 to get its story.
Right, yeah.
But I would rather play a Real Bout 3.
Yeah. And again, like, I felt like they were trying to do this with Guilty Gear. They just never got it implemented in time. But being able to win a lot of the items, not just through fishing, but through playing matches. And then they even said you were supposed to decorate your house. Because when you do the lobby, there's the house. I bet you, depending on the points you got, you could probably start adding rooms.
Dude, seriously, I'm just going to tell you, the perfect game right now. So you make a good fighting game. You have all this cool stuff. You have nice rollback netcode. But then your lobbies are fucking Animal Crossing.
Right?
I will build my little island, and I have my house, and you can walk in my house and see all the cool shit I've done.
Dude, honestly, that's what I thought it was going to be, because I thought, okay, here's my thing, is that in the very first beta for Guilty Gear, the balcony did nothing, and there was a realtor. There was a realtor there. And so what I had figured was you were going to be able to buy houses, go to the balcony, and view the neighborhood. Because you were in the top floor balcony, so you would be able to see all the houses of the people that you were connected with and stuff like that.
Which would also be a great fucking way to do, like, the guilds or squad, dojo, whatever the fuck, is that's your neighborhood.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, I feel like they were trying to go in that direction. They just never managed to accomplish it because of pandemic, and they just had to drop that. And they ended up with the lobbies. Because I still see a lot of people saying they hate the lobbies and they're bad. They should have never did it. And I'm like,
they're the best lobbies I've seen Ark do in a long time.
I'm frustrated because I still agree with everything they tried to do.
Yeah.
I still agree with it, but you just know that they got screwed by the pandemic and everything like that. And I want that more because I just think ranked is absolutely no fun. I just really don't think ranked is fun at all.
Yeah, here's the thing, is that I think most of the people who don't really mind ranked, it's really just they've accepted it, and they're basically kind of like they're new enough to fighting games where ranked is how it's always been, or they're streamers that don't have the same suffering because they have other social interaction to go with it.
Right, exactly. And that's just the thing, is that ranked is
a fucking slog.
And if you enjoy ranked, and don't get me wrong, there are people who do enjoy ranked, but they are of a certain mindset
that is definitely the minority.
Well, and again, like I think part of it is that they are probably newer, and that that's how it's always been to them. So like,
no arcade experience,
no
right?
arcade
Yeah,
experience or this, that, and the other. So it's just like that's how it's always been. So that's how it is. So they don't see as much of a problem because they've never seen it better.
I mean, most of the time when I sit here and talk to my stream on like beginner streams or like other non like talk show streams and stuff, most of them say they play it because they have to, because it's what you're supposed to do, and most of them don't enjoy it.
Dude, playing Street Fighter V ranked has been one of the biggest influencers on me not playing fucking any fighting games online ever again.
Was it just because the netcode was so bad, or
no, because it's also such a slog that the thought of logging in online to a game to play against a stranger that I don't see or talk to is just, I'm already exhausted.
Right.
Like I have no drive to do it.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite.
Meanwhile, I can burn fucking 5 hours in Sam Show's training mode.
Right. Yeah.
Which is dumb.
One of my favorite things was I played a super long set as Potemkin versus a May player. And we were going back and forth, super even. Like, we were exactly the right level for each other. Because we kept, I would win 2, and then he would win, I'd win 1, and then he'd win 2. Yeah, and we were just going back and forth. And after I had to stop, I was like, I need to stop playing, right? And, like, what was cool was I got off the machine, and, like, both of us just started bowing at each other and doing that kind of stuff. And that's what I mean. Like, that made the experience that much better, which you don't get out of a lot of the other lobbies, which are just text and menus.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
When you are below the silent protagonist in terms of development. Like, oh, do you want to talk to each other? Better hit the home button, send them a message over PlayStation messages, and hope they're not in the middle of typing you hate mail.
Right, exactly. But literally, we got off the machine.
Racism in 3.
Yeah, I literally ran off the machine, came back, and then we just started bowing at each other. Like, we were both like, good shit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When you play fighting games online, you always feel like the other guy is an asshole on the other side. And then you watch some matches, and they really are assholes.
Yeah. Not going to name any names.
Yeah. Yeah, you hardly see anyone use them. That's one of the hard... I also think it's because they're gate-kept by really, really awkward UI, too. Because you have to know which button to hold and assign the shortcut to the emote so that you know which one's there. And, like, it's kind of like... It's unwieldy, right? It's unwieldy. The emotes should be easier to access, basically. But, I mean... I also just like the fact that you can see them as the avatar, and then you can actually recognize them. Yeah, And one time someone asked me, how do I enjoy ranked? Like, I can't play it, and I just feel like in all the stuff
That's the neat part. You don't.
And one of my answers honestly I was like, humanize your opponents. I was like, when you play, even if no one's near you or around you, if they do something nice, just be like, oh, good shit. Like, just do it. You know what I mean? Or, like, you know what? I think you're going to do this. You know what I mean? Like, humanize them. And that actually makes it so that it feels better. Like, it feels better.
You know what is one piece of terminology that the FGC used for, like, at large, used only for about a year or two, and it's kind of gone out of style, but I still miss it and I love it? The FGC nod. Just you got hit with some shit and you're like...
Yeah. We lost it because of the pandemic. We don't see anybody do it anymore, dude.
Yeah, the FGC nod is, I think, the greatest thing. It's just the... Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you giving yourself the burn treatment. Yeah. You're just like...
Yep. And it was always one of my favorite things, I mean, about the offline tournaments, because you could... When you see your opponent do the FGC nod, you're like, yeah.
Well, I mean, because that was one of my favorite things about in-person tournaments and looking at commentary, too, is that when you have the camera and they're like, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Like, something happened on his controller. That was a huge execution error he could not have predicted, something like that.
I mean, that's why I know as a commentator, I commentate on it more than anybody else does. Because I just love that shit. The example I always give, and everybody's heard this who's been in my chats a lot, is the Ricky Ortiz. Like, she'll play, and in between matches, she does this.
like she glances out of the corner of her eye, because you can tell a lot from a player whether they're going or whether they're going,
Yeah.
you know, or they're going, like you can read a lot out of them. And
Yeah, because if you look over and they're like, fuck, you could like, okay, running a train on them.
yeah, and
But then if they're like,
smell-
I've got this, then you're like, okay, I need to change my strategy because they're preparing for the thing I just did.
Yeah,
Yep,
mhm,
absolutely.
And a lot of players who didn't have the offline experience don't know to avoid that. So you will actually fall into a trap, and like, she's been playing for so long in arcades, she's just really good at that. And like, when you see someone going like, oh god, why did I do that? Like, you're like, I smell blood, time to finish them off, rush down.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes you can even like poker face with like the, well, golly gee whiz.
Yeah, I mean, my friend noticed when I was playing at Southern Hills Golfland all the time. I know I've told you this story before, but whenever I was playing Alpha, if I was going to do an actual uppercut, I would stay as still as possible. And every time I tried to fake an uppercut, I'd do this. I'd always do this to fake an uppercut, and I would always stay perfectly still when I actually did the uppercut. And he was like, it kind of turned into a reverse tell. Mm-hmm. You know, and I was like,
you are too still. You want a DP.
Yeah, I think I didn't even think about that, and I was like, it might be a reverse tell for some people, you know, honestly. So
Okay, that's a fair point. You need to be a goddamn Phoenix Wright character to read something out of Infectious.
yeah,
That shit's funny.
that's why Infectious is so great.
Yeah, the fucking, like, the Terminator does not have that
Yeah.
level of poker face.
That intro sequence at Red Bull Kumite where he walks down, everyone's like, high five, and he just walks right past them. It was so great. Oh, man. But, I mean, again, these are all things that are important about playing in person that a lot of players don't get used to. You know, they don't get to see those kind of things. And so,
Yeah, no, and it's one of the things, too, like, when I'm playing in person with other people, and, like, you still have that, like, you're reacting to my stick wiggling more than, and, like, the sounds of my stick clicking more than you are anything on screen.
Yeah.
And I like, you can call bullshit, but sometimes it's subconscious.
right.
The only thing I hate is that when you call it and they're like, no, like, bitch, yes you are. You don't even, I guess you don't know you are, but you're doing it.
I mean, when I used to play Edmond, in Street Fighter 4, he's my
I know
demon.
that. I know this story.
That guy
this
used
is a
to
great
fuck
one.
me up. But like, I just was like, you're watching my joystick. That's the only way you're so accurate on stopping my DPs. And he's like, I'm not looking at your hands. And I was like, fuck this. And I sat behind him. And then instantly I started landing more DPs and stuff like that. And it wasn't that he was doing it on purpose. It's subconscious. You can't help it when you see the guy.
Which again, you remember back Evo, what, 5-6 years ago, having the fucking barriers on the main stage.
Yeah, when Mad KOF put that up against Bala, they put the chair with the shirt on there and everything.
And sometimes they'll have like a shoebox over their hands on the stick and shit.
Yeah,
Like
Dominion started doing that. He
Yeah.
designed a whole joystick that covered his hands, so people couldn't actually look at the hands. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is a real fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it in Marvel 3 just to see which way they wanted to TAC because I'm a bad person. But
Well, the thing is that like I'll do that and then I'll lose to churned butter, so it won't fucking matter.
But I mean, that was the Triforce thing too. He actually, because he could, I mean, Sanford probably did it to him because Sanford was one of the people that the Japanese players accused of watching buttons. He might have did it by accident too, but Triforce was one of the players that had empty buttons that he would purposely do stuff on.
The empty buttons are good.
And John Choi, one of his number one strategies when you watch him play CVS2 is you can hear him play CVS2. He is hitting buttons at the full strength constantly.
Yeah, like you're gonna be like parking your car and you're gonna hear buttons.
Yeah, he is just giving you a cacophony of sounds so that none of them become a giveaway. You know how Sagat had the 5-hit Tiger uppercut in CVS2, the dun 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 dun. He hit the button on every hit. It was like ba 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 ba. Like he would just hit buttons really hard to make it so that you couldn't react to the button press sound. And I don't think he did it on purpose. I
But
think
sometimes you get into it.
that's the tactic he developed because
you've played in the arcade so long and you just get good at doing shit like that. So it's such a different thing, and ranked is missing that, honestly. Like, it sounds like it's cheating. To me, it's part of the game. And number two, it's just like that personal interaction with people, I just feel like is so important. And I was trying to like talk to the Them's Fighting Herds guys about potential ideas of trying to like do more things in ranked and stuff like that. So I mean, I'd be curious to see how hard it would be to implement and stuff, but I think it would be really cool. I'll hit them up. I'm definitely going to hit them up and try to get some ideas across to them and see how it works. So,
and all this stems from, we don't know what lobbies are going to be like in the beta.
Yep. Oh man. Well, I guess it means you want to just call it a night then.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But let's put up some sort of little thing so that people can more easily go to the Twitter for @SNKronize. And if y'all want to ask us any questions or make suggestions for little topics or something, just feel free to send them our way.
Yeah. I'll type it in the chat over here. Let's see. This is so that's the Twitter right there. So it'll be twitter.com/SNKronize, right?
That should do it.
Yeah, so you can just go ahead and go to the twitter.com/SNKronize. Go ahead and ask some questions. Follow the account as well. Then you can tweet it out on the SNKronize account. Like, ask us questions and stuff, and we can definitely throw that in.
No, absolutely not. I want people who are watching the show.
And then maybe next week we'll see what happens with silhouettes and reveals and stuff like that. And if there's not any crazy reveals, then maybe we can just mess around in some KOF 14 or something like that. So
You want to play some KOF?
Want to play some KOF?
But yeah, no, that should be a thing. And then in theory, the following week we will do our watch party leading into the weekend of the 15 beta. And I am going to play so fucking much Dolores and a lot of fucking Chizuru.
Oh man. I mean, honestly, those are the two characters I'm probably most interested in myself. So
Chizuru looks fucking dangerous after that last trailer. They're actually showing a little bit more of her combo potential.
Really?
She looks fucking scary.
Okay.
And she's Chizuru, so she's either really scary or she's dog shit.
Is that how it's always been for her?
I think 98 UM is the only one where she's not one of the two. She's like pretty good because it's literally, what if we took 98 Chizuru and then nerfed her?
Yeah. I mean, it's
like
funny,
03
like,
Chizuru's ass.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the COIS team never really piqued my interest to that level. So I'll probably try to mess with like Kyo and Iori as well.
I mean, you should try. Shermie.
I'll try them.
You should try
them
Shermie
for sure, 100%.
No, you absolutely should try Shermie.
Just because she's grappler, basically.
But because you're like me, you tend to like some of the female grappler archetypes.
I mean, I just like grapplers, right?
You do, but like some of the female ones tend to have like the more interesting tools kind of thing.
I guess it's true.
I mean, here's the thing: is that if you've never played Shermie, especially looking at her trailer in this, she looks a lot more like Mika does in neutral, like an actual neutral. Like, remember when Street Fighter V came out and she actually played neutral rather than just being oppressive Oki, press jab, hope for the best kind of things?
It was kind of always that way.
It was more like she got in and then, But yeah, basically, imagine if she had less ludicrous Oki but had more interesting neutral.
Right.
But the overall kit's pretty similar. You got a couple of grabs, got the anti-air grab, got a comboable grab, etc.
Yeah. No, I definitely will try Dolores. I want to try Dolores, and like I said, I'm curious about Iori and Kyo. I want to see how they work as well. So
yeah, I mean, Kyo looks pretty fun.
I mean, I'll try Shune, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, just play him for like 1 or 2 sets, maybe like 10 minutes in training, and be like, all right, I'm done.
I'll make it. We play that weekend. Anytime anyone subs, I have to play Shune.
And I have to play Kyo.
Oh damn! Oh man,
dude, we could definitely get like a sub drive of just make me suffer by intentionally picking Kyo.
Oh man.
Maybe we could set up like sub goals and like this $5 is for Mike. Make him play this team. And I'll be like, fuck it. All right.
Oh man. What do you think we should close out on today?
I mean, if y'all are making donations, I'll play all sorts of shit I don't want to. I don't care. What should we close out on? We should do something a little more...
Hider niche?
Nah, I'm gonna be selfish.
Okay.
Do the KOF 13 version, which I think is just a like higher definition version. Queen.
Queen?
Yes. First off, this song's amazing and I fucking love it, but we're still holding out prediction that we're getting Elizabeth, so I'm putting this up right now as kind of...
Wait, Elizabeth was on the women's team before, or...
The thing is that it's her theme from her team in 11, and it just got ported up to 13.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Is Dolores' theme out officially? I don't think it is.
I don't think so. I don't think we got
I mean, unless they shared it on Twitter in, like, willy-nilly. Yeah. You might as well take a look-see.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, so let's do this. Close out with Queen.
Because this song is awesome and it's good. And it'll be a good wrap-up song.
Yeah. All right.
And you're going to have to turn it up again, too. You did the... Yeah.
But in the meantime, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out for another episode of SNKronize. Make sure you follow @SNKronize on Twitter. And then we'll see you next week. Stay safe. Get vaccinated. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Wash your filthy hands.
Yeah, basically. All right. Peace out, guys. And my cats are super hungry right now.
Dude, Jasmine's so excited. Like, oh, this sounds like they're wrapping up. Dude, oh my god.
It's weird how she recognizes